It's a beautiful day and I'm waiting for the phone call from the post office that our baby chicks are here. So it's the perfect time to set up your brooder for them, either the night before or first thing in the morning when you're expecting them. You want to have everything ready before they arrive. So I like to use this galvanized tub for 5 or 6 chicks. This is going to be perfect for the first week or two. They're obviously going to grow, so you're going to need something bigger. You can use a plastic tote. I like to use a puppy playpen. But for just starting out, when you first get them, if you just have a couple, something this size is going to be perfect. So you're going to want to put something in the bottom of it. Newspaper alone is too slippery. They can't get a good grip on it. Their legs can start to spread out and they'll end up with something called spraddle leg, which you don't want to have to deal with. So you want something that they can grip. I like using the rubber shelf liner. It's nice and grippy. Any water they spill goes right through it down to the newspaper underneath. And then it's super easy to clean because I just take it out, throw out the wet newspaper, hose off the shelf liner. I usually cut 2 the same size, put the new one in with new newspaper. So that's what you're going to have on the bottom. So before the day that your chicks are coming, you're obviously going to want to get all your supplies ready. Again, they're babies, so you have to set up a nursery for them. Same as if you were bringing home a real live human baby. You're going to want to make sure you have everything you need. So you're going to need feeders and waterers for them. There's these kind of traditional, either glass or plastic, gravity feeders and waterers. If you only have a couple chicks coming, these are kind of big and clunky. They tend to tip over. So I experiment with different things, and this year I'm trying this. I found some little espresso cups secondhand, and I epoxied the cup to the saucer, and I figured these would make really cute little water dishes. So I can pour the water in here. You want the chicks to have room temperature water, so you do want to get the water set up well in advance of the chicks coming. You can add some sugar to it. Just gives them a little boost of energy after their long trip if they've been shipped, or you can add some electrolytes to it. And then you want to put some little rocks into the water. Chicks drown really easily, so if it's anything that's not really shallow, you want to put some little stones in, so in case they fall in, they won't drown. But I thought this would be really cute, and the saucer will kind of contain their water mess. So I'm going to put 2 of them in there. You want to make sure that there's enough water for your chicks, and I give them water 24/7 when they're this small, and food. So that's their water. Then for food, you can use the bottom of an egg carton. Again, there's traditional feeders for chicks, but you can save some money and just put some chick feed into the bottom of an egg carton. And then when this gets wet or dirty, you can just throw it away and use another one. So I've done this before and this works really well. So that's their feed and water. So in the top of the egg carton, you want to save that. You can fill it with some dry dirt or sand. Chicks, even a couple days old, will practice dust bathing. It's really good practice for them. It keeps them busy, keeps them from getting bored and pecking at each other. And they can eat some of this too, and it'll be grit that they need. So I like to always give my chicks a little dust bath. And I have this little roost that I actually made for them out of an old clothes drying rack. But putting in a branch or something else they can hop up on, again, it gives them practice for being adult chickens, keeps them busy, little enrichment in the brooder. This is actually kind of big for this, but when they get a little bigger, maybe I'll put this in for them. But even just a little branch, I like to put a branch or something on that they can perch on and practice balancing. Then, because these chicks don't technically have a mom, a feather duster in the brooder, I'll tape it to the side or secure it to the side so it doesn't fall. But they like to go underneath it, and it's kind of comforting because it's like a mom. It looks kind of like a chicken with the feathers. And I'll just get all that set up. And even the night before, like I said, you can get it ready well in advance and have it ready for when your new babies come home. Just before a chick hatches out of the egg, it ingests the yolk of that egg. That yolk gives it all the nutrients it needs for the first 72 hours. So that is how the chick can survive the 2-day trip without eating or drinking. As soon as the post office calls, I'll go head over there and pick up my box of chicks. They'll come in a cardboard box with nice holes for ventilation and filled with soft bedding. Also, this time of year especially, they'll put a heat pack in that will keep them warm through their journey. When you first get your chicks home, you want to give them a nice drink. I like to take them one by one and dip their beak into the water just so they know where the water is. And then you also want to give them a quick check for pasty butt, which is a condition where they get stopped up and literally can't poop. So you have to clear that up, easily done with some olive oil and a Q-tip. Not terribly common, but it's a good thing to check for when you first get your baby chicks home. I have got a trick that, if it works, is going to alleviate the whole brooder heat lamp in the house, and we're going to raise the baby chicks outside in the coop under a mother hen. So normally I would try to break a broody hen. I don't want them sitting on the nest all day if they're not hatching chicks. But since I knew that I'd be getting some baby chicks, I wanted to make sure that one of my hens was really hardcore broody. So normally you would have a broody sit on eggs for 3 weeks till they hatched, but this is sort of like a workaround, and I'm going to get a broody hen to sit on my shipped chicks. You know a hen is broody when she's sitting on the nest every time you go down to the coop. So it's different than just being in there to lay an egg. She basically is going to sit day and night. When you approach the box, she'll start to growl, she'll puff up. She pulls out the feathers, literally feathering her nest with the feathers off of her chest. That also means that when she's sitting on eggs, her skin is right up against the eggs and keeps them warmer. So one of two things are going to happen. I always like to do this during the day. I don't want to do it just before dark because I want to stick around and make sure that she's really going to take to the hens. So I'll just take the eggs out from under her. She's been sitting on non-fertile eggs for about a week and a half now, I think. It doesn't matter, it hasn't been the 3 weeks that eggs take to hatch. A broody hen just wants chicks. She's not counting the number of days in her head. So I'm going to take the eggs out from under her, and then I'm going to take the chicks one by one out of the bucket and show them to her, and I should be able to tell right away if she's going to be into this. And if all goes well and all 6 chicks end up underneath her, then I should theoretically be able to just pick up the whole nest, the chicks, the nesting material, and mom, move them into the nursery, and that's where they'll live until they're ready to join the rest of the flock. Either she's going to be an Instamom or they're going to end up back in the house.